This is lunar energy, the power of connectivity, and also the cycles of growth. Teaching every one of you guys, if this is your first time in my life, my name is Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. I am the apostle and pastor of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated, and my beliefs are deeply rooted in the ATRs. The ATRs are the African traditional religions by which we harness, direct, and disperse energy, frequency, and vibration. To each and every one of you guys, I thank you so very much for being a part of our platform. To all of my melanated brothers and sisters, what's up, my Stormy, my Sagittarius from Detroit? To each and every one of you guys, I want to say that I am definitely excited about where we're headed in this platform and how many of you guys are going to experience on higher levels and deeper levels of conjure. What's up, my Shamari, Sasha Fields, Cancer in the house, Shot Town. I want to say to each and every one of you guys, thank you so much. First of all, I want to say salutation to my Madrina, to my Padrino, to my Oba, and to all of my brothers and sisters in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, and Ajays. Even those in the church that are practicing 8 hours, and those have left the church, probably for a good reason, but still have church influence. I'm here to talk conjure, mysticism, magic, and how we utilize this energy frequency in our everyday life. How to utilize your particular practices or your belief systems and get yourself in a place where your reality is reflecting your belief system. What's up, my Demetrius? Gemini in the house. How you doing? I still have to go today. Once I get off live, I've been going back to Miami because I have to get the rest of the stuff regarding Agayu and also for Inlay, and I have to get the rest of the animals that I have to sacrifice. It's a lot of work, a lot of driving, and I want to say this to those that do not listen or follow, and this is for tutelage for all you that want to get into this ATRs or spirituality as a business and as a practice, and especially if you're dealing with black people. I'm going to say this again. Minister Mario is dead. He left June 21st, 2023. I don't have nobody to help me do things that he was doing. Not only the things that he was doing for driving me and helping me, assist me in anything that I was doing, he was also handling the social media situation, the emails, the things that I'm not that great at. And he also was a contributor. I'm going to say this again. Minister Mario was a big giver in anything. And I had the level of confidence and trust in him. Mr. Mario, son of Ochosi, was also an individual that helped me with my mother, helped me with my sisters, helped me with my children. So when you see me venerating, giving tribute, giving honor, almost 2 years later, that's just how much he was a supporter. I have not asked anybody at any time to be a Minister Mario. What's up, my love, my Taurus in the house? I don't do that. I deal with people where they're willing to deal with me. He was willing to ride with me like that, and therefore I honor him like that. And like I said, I'm the type of person, I'm like that before you and in your face, and I'm also like that behind your back. In his case, he is deceased. Energy not destroyed, but his physical support. So my thing is, and I want to say this again, if you do not have a membership that is Haitian Voodoo, the membership of Orisha, or the membership of Paulo Miambe. These clients that spent $3,500 for their membership in Haitian Voodoo, these clients that spent $2,000 for their Orisha membership, and these clients that spent $1,200, you don't come before those clients. And I already informed those clients, if I got something going on, your membership don't come before me, because I can't help nobody if I can't help myself. I make that clear, and I make that crystal clear. Everybody else, remember, when I'm doing work, the moment you send your PayPal, your Zelle, whatever you contribute, whether you go to the website or whether you send it personally to me, your work starts. I am not these rookie spiritualists. I please understand, I am not a novelist. I'm not unskilled. I'm not broke. I'm not uneducated. I'm not a person that is unstable. What's up, Mama Susan? What's up, my baby Scorpio? And what's up, my Boaz in the house, my Pisces? I reiterate this. I also tell black people, if you're going to do this for a professional, you need to understand. Stop allowing people to make your messages and what you do personal. The last 2 messages that I preached in my church, I took out an hour to 45 minutes to an hour to discuss to my saints. I didn't tell them the message, but I wanted to inform them and give them a precursor to the message, so they did not take what I was saying personal. When I'm delivering a message, whether it is on YouTube, TikTok, it is for the masses. I may utilize situations and circumstances to amplify a point or a direction that you should take note of. But at no time, sir and ma'am, am I here trying to change your mind, trying to change your intention, trying to change how you move in life. Because at the end of the day, it's not my life, it's yours. What's up, my Ryan, my Libra? This has to be constantly told to black people, because black people don't listen. Because the only thing concerned of black people is what they want. And if you don't handle your business in a professional manner, then black people will ruin your business, all because they can't, or they're not getting a service that they didn't pay for. If you want to be top priority in my life, I have had people send $25,000. I've had people send $50,000, $5,000, $11,000, $5,000, $2,000, and they're not the top of my priority. I'm the top of my priority, because at the end of the day, the energy got to come from me, the frequency, the vibration, and that's what I teach every person. If you are not a real conjurer and you're not trying to learn real magic, that means you're not trying to understand what goes on when you're doing spell work, or you're doing protection work, or money work. Any money work that I do for people, that Ache comes from me. Any healing that I do for people, that Ache comes from me. Any protection work I do from people, it comes from me. The animals are only the vehicle. I am the generator, soul generator. When those spirits in my pot need energy, they're not going to come to you. They're going to come to me. When my Orishas need Ache, they're going to come to me. I am the initiant. I'm the Santero. I am the Tata and Kisi. My Loas want energy from what the work that I sent them out to do. They're going to come get it from my life force energy. That's why 1 minute I can be fine and the next minute I'm drained. That's not your problem. That is my commitment to my spiritual work. You understand? Whether you want to understand or not, poor people should not be involved in Ifa, voodoo, or Ocha. Because those particular science, all the sciences cost money. But those in particular, when you're on a budget, when you cannot even afford a full case of beer, you got to buy a single beer because you can't afford the six pack. You should not be participating in ATR that cost money. Not just the energy, the frequency, and the vibration, but the money. Nobody is doing in what I do for black people on this platform. You can't find anybody to do that. They can't afford to do it. They don't have the power, and they don't have, and let me tell you, thank you for getting off my live. Because you're really not here for the truth. You're really not here to grow. And you constantly want people to tell you stuff, and that's why you keep getting duped. People that doing real magic gonna be honest with you. People that doing real conjure gonna be honest with you. People that are putting their life on the line, their energy on the line, they're gonna be honest with you. That's why we're gonna talk about this message. Y'all, some of y'all, let me tell y'all something. I am not trying to be popular. I'm already famous. Popular is when you're saying things that people want to hear. That's why preachers preach on homosexuality. They preach on things that black people or black women want to hear in the church. They're not focused on the truth. And that's why when they message getting dry or people not get on with them, they start talking about subject matters that are popular to black people. I'm not trying to be popular. I'm infamous. My name will be in the book of remembrance. If you ain't trying to be eternal, and you're not trying to be a stapler in these spiritual streets, in this spiritual community, and being a light to the young people that are coming behind you, the other root workers, the conjurers, the mystics, the necromancers, the Iyamis, all these other types of people that still need to understand universal laws and how they apply and are applicable to each and every person, then you don't need to be out here. And you need to stop giving opinions. I've had to deal with so many different people. When I tell you I have a plethora of people that I have to contend with, and the level of immaturity, mentally and emotionally, I can't even sit down and have a real conversation with you because I know that you don't have the capacity to receive this level of truth. And that's sad, to be a grown man, a grown woman, that we can't have an adult conversation about your life, about your goals, about your dreams, about what things that you're saying, not about me. I'm going to say this again. Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated. Not one member takes care of me. Minister Mario, I didn't beg nobody. I ain't begging nobody to venerate him. I don't ask nobody for money. People that donate is because they want to honor Minister Mario, son of a chosen. Those that gave money towards his daughter, there was never a requirement. You don't have to be a member of my church. You don't have to be a part of my ELA. You don't have to be on my social media platforms, and you're not obligated to do anything. You're grown. Everybody, when they say donate, that's what it is. It is a charitable contribution. That is something you are not required to do. There's no obligation. That people do things out of the goodness of their own individual hearts. Minister Mario was not obligated to me. He was not being on my payroll because he was being paid from the church because of him driving me around or going to different ceremony that I had to go to. He did that on his own. He took his own money. I don't call his goddamn daddy. I don't call his family. I don't ask them for shit. Anything that I do for Minister Mario or his daughter, it comes out of my pocket. Now, there are people that help me and donate. Sister Tree is the only person. Other people donate, but Sister Tree is the only person that called me and asked me what's going on with Chloe. What Chloe needs. My niece does Chloe hair for free. I buy the material, and she told me, and she been doing that since Mr. Mario died. Every hairdo you see Chloe on, or I take a picture, my niece, my biological niece, does her hair for free, and she got her own bills. And she said, Mr. Mario been that good to me, my brothers, and my mama. So it's not just me. When somebody done did something, and this is why I tell y'all about competing with people and comparing yourself, because you don't know what that person did in their life. You don't know why I have the favor that I have with the Impungos, or the Risha, or the Loas, or the spirits, period. And if you ain't willing to do what I do, then why you gotta have the expectation? That's what my message is. You cannot fix what you can't face. You cannot fix what you're not willing, sir or ma'am, to face. You can't get correction on anything in your life if you're not willing to face it. When I talk about Demetrius and I talk about different ones and throwing out there, that's because of what they showed me. I'm not going out here and lying on or for anybody. If you fall short, that's on you. If this don't mean that to you, that's why you don't give like that. Your spiritual life, your spirituality, and your spiritual journey only falls so far in the level of importance, and that's you. My spiritual life is everything. If I got to get tired, if I got to get exhausted, I'm gonna do what I got to do. I ain't asked that of nobody. I have not asked anybody to do what I do. I suggest. But if you're not giving like that, why are you requiring like? I remember taking one of my saints, I paid for everything. And she was Pisces. And I watched her. When I tell you she worked that waitress, knowing she didn't want to go tip that woman. They were giving out free drinks. Because I tell men and women, you can learn a lot about a person by taking them out. How they react and treat people is really them. She worked that girl back and forth the whole time and was not going to tip her. I paid for the meal and tipped that girl, not based off of how I worked her. I tipped her based off how they, because you with me. You are a freaking and fucking embarrassment. You already ain't paying for shit. And then you got the nerve to be requiring some shit. What's up, my Aquarius? Aloha. I don't think a lot of you guys are really interested in magic. You trying to get what you're trying to get, and that's fine. And that's why you don't have the knowledge, because you're not investing in people that can actually teach you the knowledge. My level of success in these ATRs has to do with my level of commitment, my level of dedication, my level of sacrifice. When I got clients that giving me more money than you are gonna be willing to give approximately, and they not bothering me, it makes you look petty. If you want valet parking, goddamn it, pay for it. If you want VIP seating, pay for it. If you want to sit down at the front in front of Beyonce, goddamn it, pay for it. She don't care if you gay, straight, or bi, whether you use your rent money or whether you took your child oxygen money. All she know is that you pay for that space. And she gonna entertain like a motherfucker. You don't complain about the seat you have back way in the balcony because you ain't paid to be up front. If you ain't gonna sacrifice for the Egun, the ancestors, the Loa, the Nkisi, and the Pungo, and you ain't gonna put your spiritual life first, then you get in where you fit in. And stop feeling like somebody throwing off on you. When you sitting in Dollar General, I'm not looking down on you. That ain't my job. But when it comes to the ATRs and spirituality, you got to know how conjure really works. You got to know what it is to petition and allow your Egun, your spirits. How you going to fix something you ain't willing to face? You always living your life like an ostrich, got your head in the sand. And you can't even tell who done smacked you on the ass. You're always in a delusion about what's going on in your spiritual life because your head is always in the sand. I don't tell you to do that. You choose to do that. If you are learning real magic, you want somebody to be honest with you. You want somebody to be upfront and direct. And I always tell Padrino, when I'm ready for a ceremony, I say, Padrino, how much the ritual? He tell me. Only reason why I put it in my tribe so people can see what this really costs. And some of you will be more informed if you were mature and allow me to give out. I'm a Sagittarius. I love this shit. So I'm always giving out nuggets, not only on social media, but in my group chats. Because I want you to learn. I want you to grow. I want you to prosper. I want you to be in health. I want all that shit for you because I want it for myself. See, it ain't my fault that you are satisfied with baking bits. Why you getting offended? Keep crunching them goddamn bacon bits. But I have people that want a sliver, 2 slices or 3 slices of bacon. They're not satisfied with bacon bits. But you are. And that don't make you no less than a person. That's just what you like to be satisfied with. You want real conjure? And you can't afford real conjure? It ain't nothing with womb. But I'm not jumping through the hoops. And I want you to hear me real clear. I wouldn't care if you paid me $1 million. I come first. Now, if I was headed on a trip, and I looked at my Zelle, and I looked at my PayPal, and I was going somewhere, and I was gonna pick up Mother Susan, and they had $17,000. I'm gonna call Mother Susan and say, baby, I ain't gonna make it. I'm gonna make it up to you. But baby, I ain't gonna make it. But I look at that Zelle and it don't change my mind. That ain't my fault. That's your fault. If you want my attention, then make it worth my while. I make over $100,000 a year on one job. I have real clients. I'm here for all melanated people, but I have real clients that give real money. I'm thankful for whatever they send me $20. I'm a grateful person. But you're not going, no. You don't know how to fix things. I know how to fix stuff. I know how to face stuff, and I know how to fix it. Let me give y'all an example. The word attention means notice taken of someone or something regarding of someone or something as interesting and or important. So if you don't give the proper where you put your attention to, that's where your energy goes. Depending on how interesting or interested or how important your spiritual life is the amount of energy. Most people like what I do because I'm fully engaged. Because I don't participate in nothing that I'm not fully engaged. That's why I'm so good at sex. I'm not going to be half-hearted in nothing I do. You, on the other hand, you have no problem being half-hearted. You will step in something that you know you can't fulfill your obligation. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to sit down and counter the call. That's why I teach you like that. Demetrius has never texted me. I can't speak for Demetrius with other people. I'm telling you, me. Demetrius has never texted me and said he wanted something that he did not pay for. My baby school has never ever asked me about something that she had no intention of supporting. If you want me to value your text, and you're a person that is about that action, you're gonna rise to the top of my attention. I'm not the person to vent to. I don't give a fuck what's going on in your life because I got my own life to live. If you don't give enough fucks about your own life, why would I give one fuck? If anybody should be giving some fucks about what's going on with you and yours, it should be you. And if you don't think enough of you and yours to give the proper attention and energy to what you need to be done, that's your business. I'm going all out for me and mine. I don't care what happened in my e-talk and everything I said was true and factual. I'm still gonna get my I got you. Because Padrino got his I got you. I gotta get mine. I already got my inlay and my abata. I got my cauldron. See, the difference is I'm trying to teach black people. Get out your fucking feelings and get your tools. Get the shit that you need. Make the things happen in your life. Don't be worried about Mr. John or Miss Clarine. Don't worry about those people. You need to make sure that you got the material, you got the things that you have need of. And therefore, you ain't gonna afraid to face your problem or your situation because you know how to fix it. Mother Susan said the table was beautiful, Apostle. Was it good? I said it was all right. She said, what it was? I said it was tuna. I'm not a big fan of tuna. I know pussy is pussy, but I like snapper. I like grouper. Anyway, so I told her, I said, it was a lot of stuff at that table for them. Yeah, I paid for it, but he didn't get that based off of pleasing me. He set that table because if he was trying to please me, my Padrino know I like salmon. I'm sweating like a mother sucker. That's what. See, when it's about you, then I look to be satisfied. But that was there for my Oba, for my Padrino, and the people that work me receiving inlay and abata. All I'm trying to show you is how to navigate and stop having unnecessary problems. Let me tell y'all something. So all of y'all that want to be the head of something, you want to be titled. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But let me say this. If you want to be a person that's out front, you got to understand there's a certain level of attention. I know when I get on social media and I speak the way that I speak, some people are going to be turned off and some people are going to be turned on. But I realize the level of attention that I'm going to receive. And I need to be able to handle that attention, whether it's warranted or unwarranted attention. A lot of you guys think that you're going to get attention and it's going to be the way that you want it to be. Because you can get my attention and you can have me to roast your ass. Or you can get my attention and then for me to acknowledge your accomplishments. I had a situation. And what was disappointing, because a lot of times when I'm on my platform, I'm always making sure that I'm giving younger people nuggets, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding for where they are as young people. They're still going to be young, but I try to give them information so they can make better decisions in their youth and benefit and not just be losing and making bad decisions that are going to complicate their life as they get older. And when you want to be an elder, when you want to be a godmother or godfather, or you want to be somebody that is recognized as a leader or elder, and you want that for the attention of the title and not because of the attention of the work. When people say, and Demetrius is the first one that coined this term, you the hardest working man in Conjure. And then when other people give their attention to that statement, then all of y'all evaluate me based off of his statement and said to yourself, is that a true statement or is it a false statement? A lot of y'all want attention based on your title, not based on the work. You want attention as an ELA member, not based off your support of that ELA, but because of you being who you are. You are fucking crazy. If you want to be a proficient spiritualist and you want notoriety and you want people to respect your conjure, then your work needs to speak louder than your mouth. See, I know how to fix shit because I face it. I would take the loss to gain my respect. See, some of y'all out here and taking gains and losing your respect. And that's your personal decision. That's why you a fuck ass mother, and that's why you a fuck ass father. That's why people don't respect you as a spiritualist, not because you don't have gift and talent. It's because you are always trading off your respect and your dignity for gains. See, your money don't make me lose my respect. Whatever that is, I'm not a sellout. I'm not going to betray my spirits in order to make some fucking money. I'm not going to betray my marriage. I'm not going to betray my friendships. I'm not going to betray people that have been there for me for some money. And that's me. You can't speak for me. And I can't speak for you. But those are the principles that I live by. The people that really follow me already know the rules and the regulation. You in and out as people, and ain't nothing wrong with being a part-time love because I'm a professional side piece. So I ain't got no problem with it. But I don't expect full-time benefits when I know I'm a part-time lover. I ain't gonna cause full-time problems when I know my benefits only extend to part-time. See, when you're realistic and you sober-minded, you are not going out here expecting people to do something for you that you ain't willing to do for yourself. When my baby Scorpio, as a single mother, is willing to make certain sacrifices, I intend for her to win. I intend for when Bo make certain sacrifices, Bo do stuff for me that it don't get no credit. He gives me in a way. It's not for incense. It's not for candle. He said, "This for you, Apostle." Some of y'all do it, but you anonymous. So Bo don't mind me, because I want you to know how to face stuff. When you want to fix something, you got to face it, and you need to face it with facts and receipts. I said, and sometimes I see on my lives that people will say, "Apostle, you ain't got to explain." Yes, I do. Yes, the fuck I do. Because black people looking for an opportunity to have a fucking misunderstanding. See, when you don't really handle your goddamn business, then people can complicate your business. But I make sure that my business, see, I didn't try to niggerate my website. I paid for that. I didn't try to niggerate my paperwork when it came to my church. I paid a lawyer. See, I'm smart enough to know what I need other people. I know I can't give myself Orishas. So that's why I'm paying Padrino. I'm getting to my tools. And I suggest that you do the same thing, depending on what you're expecting out of these traditions. Padrino did not give me gas money to drive 3 hours to Tampa. That's something I wanted. That's something that my ancestors wanted for me. Then my ancestors need to provide what I need. I don't make that Padrino problem because I need gas money to get to Tampa. I need food to eat. That's not Padrino. I'm not going to put somebody else in a responsible position that is not their obligation. I didn't even make him responsible for my shelter. I got a hotel. I'm a Gold Star member in Marriott. And no, every time I get a hotel, it's not about spiritual. Sometimes it's just about me. Fuck it, if you want to know the truth. But at the end of the day, you ain't paying for it anyway. So I am never going to get into it, Padrino, because I don't make him responsible for the things that I am trying to do in my life. Do you understand? A lot of y'all mad with people that are in these elders' position because you're expecting them to do stuff for you that your own mammy and your own dad ain't did. You ain't even thought enough for your own self. You can't fix what you ain't willing to face. I know that I don't have nobody to do. When I'm making my package, nobody's going and running to the UPS store to send out my packages. I gotta take them. Nobody is gonna drive down there. I got to go pick out the animals. You know why? Because I didn't help Padrino. I was we went to get the goat and the sheep. I was sitting in the car. So he came to the car and he was beckoning me. So I got out. It was hot like a motherfucker over there. And so, not that it ain't hot here, but I'm in AC. Well, not now. So I said, I looked at him and I said, what do you want? He said, come here, I'll pick out the goat. So he wanted me to pick out the goat and the sheep. I wouldn't give it. I didn't need that, but I obeyed. So I went there. I picked out the sheep. I picked out the goat. You don't have to do that. I'm gonna go there and pick out the animal for you. And just like I wouldn't pick out no bullshit for myself, I ain't gonna pick out no bullshit for you. Just like I ain't gonna pick out a bullshit as Kendall to do your work, cause I ain't gonna do it for myself. Anything that I do for you, I use the best of materials that I can afford. That's what you should appreciate about me. That's me over other people. One thing about it, if I'm doing a work for you, and if it take more arche and energy to manifest that, I put that there. If I go to Renee and I say, oh, this is cost $100, and it exceed above that, I don't go back to Renee, ask her for a moment. I don't do that. When I do courtroom work, I tell you, this is a deposit. This is for me to get into this shit, to figure out what's going on. And this is going to cost some more money. When you get a lawyer and you put a retainer, that don't include all your charges. And if they give you some more charges, that lawyer going to charge you some more money. That's why I don't have a flat fee for courtroom work. Because I'm smart. I'm not no fucking dummy. Because I can fix what I face. My moon is in Aries. I'm confrontation like a motherfucker. When I ain't saying nothing, it's because I'm being instructed. Because what I care about, confronting somebody face to face, it's absolutely nothing. I've been doing that ever since I was a kid. I done got my ass whooped by my mama because I'm confrontation. I done walked in people's house and whooped their child ass right in front of their parents. I was a motherfucker. And my mama whooped my ass. That Virgo whooped my ass. But by putting my hands on people cheering. So domestic violence, assault is what I do. Praise is what I do. So the humility that you may see, or the reservation you may see, is out of discipline and is out of consideration of other people. But me, my personal character, if you want a problem, I'll give you a goddamn truckload of problems. That's what my real personality is. But I don't start none. But once you start it, you ain't gonna tell me how to finish it. You don't start nothing, it won't be nothing. I don't initiate shit. But people, places, and things when it comes to conscience. But getting stuff started, that ain't my forte. I ain't gonna ask you for no pussy that you ain't offered. I ain't gonna ask your daddy for no throat job if he didn't offer. Cause I don't force myself on nobody. You didn't have to my daddy throat like that. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Actually, yes, I did. You ain't have to take my mama guts up like that. Yes, actually I did. Cause I told her I wasn't nothing to play with. And she signed up for this. So don't fuss with me. Don't debate with me. Talk to your parents. Don't have a conversation with me. I'm not the person. You need to be talking about them. And you're talking to your daddy about how he giving out all this throat. And how your mama let me rearrange her guts. Talk to them. Don't talk to me. And some of y'all don't know how to face stuff. And you don't know how to fix stuff. And you be in the wrong person's face. That's why I talked to you about that story about the woman that child died. She said all is well. She didn't stop until she got in the face of Elijah. Some of y'all y'all mad, but you in the wrong people's face. That's why I used to tell Minister Martin, no, you ain't that pastor. You can say this as a church administrator, but you can't say that I say that. Because I don't want nobody getting in your face about something that is out of jurisdiction. This is what we mean by staying in your lane. Padrino Michael didn't like what I did, but he couldn't say nothing about it because of how I did it. Because he was actually the one in the wrong. Some of y'all jumping in the wrong people's face about the wrong situation. I remember one of my cousins on my mama's side talking about he was gonna whoop my ass. He would call me everything. He gonna whoop my ass. Cause my family ratchet like that. I said, oh, he gonna whoop my ass? I'm confrontational. And he always been bigger than me. I said, don't call me no punk motherfucker. I said, I ain't no walking around here with pictures. They speculate with me, but they got proof when it comes to you, bro. Everybody started looking at the family. That's right. I know shit you don't know I know. So when I went to talk to him, when I found out, because he a Leo, when I found out what it was all about, I said what he was mad about. And he was mad because I wasn't attending to his sister, which is my cousin, like he thought I should. I told him, I said, she don't do nothing for me. I said, why would I be up with her like that when she not up with me or my children? And he thought about it. See, that's when you trying to fix something, you got to deal with that shit face to face. Even in the threat of getting your ass whooped. Because he was going to have to actually do that. Because I wasn't going to let him, of course. Dealing with situations are not always comfortable. Facing things are not always comfortable. They're necessary. Facing off with people, places, and things are gonna be essential to your spiritual growth. I wasn't gonna hide my displeasure of what was happening, and neither did I have to. See, if a lot of you was actually in these things for the right reason and doing for the right person, right purpose, you would not have a problem facing certain situations or owning up to what you said. So I had a young lady had obligated herself, and this is what makes me mad. If you wasn't so busy trying to compete with the people that support me, and you're saying things out your mouth, trying to convince me that you are more of a supporter than other people, and then you obligate yourself to something that I did not ask you for, and now you wanted me to believe that you did not say that, I don't want to talk to your ass. I'm not mad with you, but I don't want to talk to you because I don't want to hear no more of your lies. This is why you need to give the proper distance. I do a lot of things to keep people from burning down a bridge with me. Once you lie to me, then you fracture our trust level. That's not my fault, that's your fault. When you are in and out person, why would you allow think that I would look at you as an individual? I have clients up here on my social media. And if you're going to be in business, this is how you ought to do. And you got to do it. But people that rock and roll with me, I rock and roll with them. People that sometime are with me, I'm sometime with them. Whatever energy, I'm a fire sign. Whatever energy you give me, I'm going to give you back to you. If you want a different energy out of me, give me a different energy. It is not a requirement that you do anything. There's not a requirement that you support my website. If it was a requirement, I wouldn't feel the need to say thank you. I thank the people that support me because they don't have to support me. I show gratitude because I know that they can support somebody else. They could not do what they do with me with somebody else. And therefore I'm very thankful, and I show gratitude for every individual that chooses to show up on my life. To every individual that chooses to be at work and do the replay. That's how you face shit. I know that I'm not like other people in business. I'm a non-profit organization. Minister Mario was not getting paid. He was working like he got paid, but he wasn't getting paid. Just like I don't get paid. I get compensated just like I compensate him or anybody that does anything for me, because we're not on payroll. Half of y'all, when you getting paid, you won't do your job. This is why I have a problem when people are trying to put themselves in positions that they know that they are not going to be willing to sacrifice like that. Extraterrestrial energy with extraterrestrial energy, truth and fact. I know that's right, Ryan. I haven't told nobody that it is a requirement, it is an obligation to get my membership, to purchase my services and products. What I said to people, do not fuck with me until you ready to do something. That's what I say. But I ain't making you do nothing. I'm not making you do graveyard work. I offer my services. Those are the facts. I ain't made nobody do a Sweet Dick Willis spell. I ain't made nobody do a Sister Good Pussy spell. When they got ready, they contacted me and I handled their business. That's not a requirement. Sometimes people say, well, Apostle, what do you think I should be doing? On what you should? Because I don't like telling black people what to do, because black people are always trying to make somebody accountable for the shit they gonna already do. But they need a scapegoat, and I ain't trying to do that. And I suggest things. And if I text them, and anybody on here could tell you, I say this is only a suggestion. This is not a requirement. I'm only suggesting this. I think this will be good for you. You don't have to do this. And most people say, well, Apostle, I trust you, blah, blah. No, it's a suggestion. Because I got to protect me and I got to protect you. Because black people like to lie on folks. I don't require nobody to do nothing. When Mother Susan come down to my house, I have helping me get my house in order. I haven't required Monique to do a goddamn thing. I never, if Mother Susan got to go to Walgreens or Walmart, whatever she got to get while she down here, I have never called up her, Monique, or her son and said, your mama need to go to the grocery store, your mama need to do this. Mother Susan, when her clothes are dirty, she take my goddamn washing machine and dryer and wash her clothes. Mother Susan have never left my house with dirty clothes. I have never asked Mother Susan to buy a goddamn thing. I have never asked anybody. Only person that I asked to look out, especially if I gotta go out of town while she at my house, I said, Sister Tree. I said, Sister Tree, could you make sure that Mother Susan got something to eat? Cause I hear and it look like I ain't gonna get back in time. And I want to make sure she eat. And send me the bill. And I'll Zelle you her money. I have not asked, ain't near time. When she stayed down here for 7 months, she ain't paid for a goddamn thing. You hear me? I ain't asked Monique or her son or her family for a fuck thing. When I was buying her liquor, I was also providing her needs. That's why I get fucking mad. Because I don't ask you for shit. If I do something for your birthday, ain't nobody paid for that. I paid for that shit. That's why I face stuff. Because I take responsibility for what I'm doing. Mother Susan don't give me no gas money, and I don't ask her for it. I told her I was gonna get her windows fixed. I didn't ask her money when she needed an air conditioner because it was hot as fuck in her house, and her air conditioner went out. I didn't ask Monique for do one thing: order it, and I'm gonna send you the money. I didn't ask her. I didn't ask her for shit. I didn't ask her husband. I didn't ask her brother. I didn't ask no goddamn body. Because whatever I do for Mother Susan, I do that for me. And other people that help me with her is because they want to. Are we clear about that? People getting mad with me with my attention to other people. You're not gonna take out your life. You would never took out your life to come down here and help with me with Minister Mario, son of a Shozi. Why are you mad with people for doing things that you're not gonna do? Some of y'all would have better relationships in your family if you would face certain things. If you would go ahead and tell the truth. That's all you got to do. This is so true, because that's how we always approach it to me. Exactly. Ryan he came from Orlando. He brought my Virgo. It's really his Virgo, but now I claim it. I'm something else. Anyway, he did not say, Apostle, could you give me gas money so I can come down and get what I need? He took care of himself, and he took care of his Virgo. I like a man that take care of his pussy or his ass. I like that. When my baby Scorpio did that, she got a membership. Why that a problem that I'm acknowledging that she as a young woman is taking care of her situation? Minister Mario was the first saint that I had that had his own shit. I was accustomed to letting people use my stuff to get my things done. Black people ain't never got, if they got the peanut butter, they ain't got the jelly. If they got the jelly and the peanut butter, they ain't got the bread. If they got the bread, the peanut butter, they ain't got the plate. They always got some shit they ain't got. That's just the truth. That's my experience, my black experience. And he was the first person that all I had to do was put gas in his car, and I had to give him my car. God damn it, I felt like I had a gold mine. That's why I have no problem whatsoever in things that I do for Minister Mario, son of a children, or his daughter. It don't bother. I don't feel like I'm doing too much, because he has been that kind of person and support in my life. Don't you get jealous? If you ain't, especially if you ain't even gonna come remotely close to somebody's dedication and commitment and loyalty, what the fuck wrong with you? Every chance you get, you try to cut me out of the equation. You buy shit from others spiritually and other places. These people support me. My baby Scorpio said, I tell you what, I know I can order that, but I want all of oregano from you. Demetrius know that he can go to other people. Let me tell y'all some real shit. I'm going to show you how to fix some shit. You take your money other places, but they support Apostle Ely, and they wait till I'm ready to do what I can do for them. Why wouldn't I acknowledge that? Mother Susan said, you know, Apostle, if you ain't preaching, I'm telling you to your face, I ain't going to nobody's church. My mama do not come to my church, but my mom don't go to nobody's church unless it's a funeral or wedding. Most of the funerals. My sister don't go to nobody's church. If she ain't coming to her brother's church, she ain't going to nobody's goddamn church. But my cousins, they'll do that shit. But they'll tell people, oh, my cousin is a pastor, he got a church. But they don't. But I got other relatives, they ain't going to nobody's church. But if they're going to send a donation, they're going to send it to me. I deal with people where they at. I face them where they at. I don't try to make people be something they're not. And that's all I've been trying to tell you. If you really respect life and people, then you do what people show you. And I deal with people according to what they show me. That's what I base that off. I'm not a person that deals with favoritism. Because I ain't got no that goddamn favoritism. Unless you a Zelle or PayPal, or you put some money, like Mother Francis used to put money in my pocket. I think she was trying to get to my Johnson, but I didn't really care because all I wanted was some. And she made sure she gave me money every Sunday that she was at my church. She wasn't even a member, but she treated me a certain type of way. I go based off how you treat me, how you handle me. That's real talk. You understand? I got to get off here because I got to get down the road and get these people animals. And if you want me to do an animal sacrifice for you and you got a membership, you go to the top of the line. Not before me, but you do go to the top of the line. But you understand, you're not the only member I got. I got to do things in decency and order. And I'm a one-man show. Ain't nobody gonna drive. Mother Susan, when she down here, she don't drive. She thinks she Miss Daisy. I don't know why I call her Mother Susan. I should call her Miss Daisy. Driving Miss Daisy. Because that's what all I end up being, a fucking chauffeur for the mother church. And I said, I always get you down here to help me. And I seem like I'm always serving you. What kind of shit is this? This is some voodoo shit. I always seem like I'm kicking out for you. Pastor, you got that some black in my eye? God damn. How many of you smoking? I don't even smoke. But she only shared the kids like I rock with her like that. And she made me mad. But I still look out for her. And I don't do that because Monique. I don't do that because of Kareem, or children, or her grandkids. I do that because of her relationship with me. And when I needed her the most, she was there. Mother Susan be on the phone with me 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. She don't know if I'm ho-hopping or I'm doing the Lord's work. But she'll be on the phone. You all right, Apostle? You sleep? How the hell I'm asleep, Mother Susan? I'm talking to you. But I know why, because I will fall asleep. So that's why I rock with Mother Susan, because she rocked with me. And she rocked with Minister Mario. When I say she was up on him, she was up on him. Only thing she didn't do is bathe him and clean him. I did that. I did that. And I didn't ask her family for a shot. And when I'm out here rocking and rolling for you, I don't ask other people for a shot. If I tell you I got it for you, or I got you, believe that. I earned that with you. I earned that with you. When I tell you something can do something what it can do, because I done already tested and tried it. And that's why I say what I say. I love y'all. I see y'all, I don't know when I'm gonna see you, but because I gotta go down. I don't know how the traffic gonna be. I pray that the traffic will flow. But Miami is what it is. All right. Love y'all. Medifun, I got you. That's who I'm going after next. I ain't running after your ass. I'm running after the ass of I got you. And if you ain't gonna help me get some of that ass of I got you, please get out of the way.